Welcome to the Anime Podcast channel. My name is Benji, and we got a crazy hype chapter in chapter 1042 of One Piece, Winners Shouldn't Need Rationalizations. This is a pretty long title, sorry. But this chapter itself is so special and incredibly intriguing, especially with so many things later on for us to discuss. For one, Kaido turns into a bad bitch, and I'll explain that a little bit later. But regardless about Oda, you got me fiending, my guy. I need more. But before I do get into the chapter review, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Me and my friends Nick, Taj, and Phil come up with weekly podcast episodes on all of your favorite anime and manga series. And come on, while you're at it, go ahead and join our Discord. We talk all kinds of manga and anime daily, including One Piece that we're probably talking about as we speak. But without further ado, let's begin the hype. So to continue the cover page story within Whole Cake Island, we see that Oven has actually wrapped up the Vinsmoke book that both contains Yanji and Niji. Now I'm pretty sure he's taking them through the mirror world in order to imprison them somewhere else. But we see Pudding looking off to the distance with a very suspicious face. Now, like I've said before in my previous chapter reviews, I'm pretty sure that Pudding has a plan in order to help Sanji's brothers escape. Which would be very interesting, especially since we see Oven actually looking at Pudding very suspiciously as well. But I definitely do think that Pudding is going to help Sanji's brothers escape. Especially for the fact that Yanji and Niji did help Sanji escape Whole Cake Island. So I guess, Pudding's repaying the favor. Even though Yanji and Niji are some bitch asses. But let's begin with the actual chapter. So basically we start off the chapter and we see ex-Drake. And now basically Drake has come back from his defeat from the main CP0 boss. And he has stabbed the CP0 boss in the back. I guess that's cool. Now, funny enough, the CP0 agent actually asked Drake, "Why, Drake? Why?" And Drake responds by saying this is me enacting my own justice. Which is a, pretty cool line, to be honest. I'm not gonna even lie. But it's a short-lived cool moment for Drake, cause right after this, the CP0 boss easily escapes and does a two-finger shot right to Drake's neck. Now, I'm pretty sure this two-finger shot is pretty synonymous with Cypher Pole users, especially since we saw it with Lucci, I believe, in his lobby, if I'm not mistaken. But basically, this attack murks Drake, and I don't know. Now, I don't know if Drake is dead, but I'm not gonna lie, this looks really bad for any Drake fans who are out there. Not that Drake, L Drake. Because right now, he is looking like an absolute fraud. But, I digress. And we soon cut to the finale of the Flower Capital Festival. And we actually see Toko and a bunch of other people actually lighting lanterns in order to commemorate their loved ones. Which is pretty nice. Now, quick side note, that scene with the daimyo, Toko's father, absolutely broke me. Like, imagine the only emotion that you can have, even when you're trying to grieve, is smiling. Man. Hey, Orochi and Kaido, they are some diabolical niggas. But moving on, let's move to the main course of this chapter. Luffy versus Kaido. Now, a little pretense, Luffy, if you do remember in last chapter, actually transformed into his Gear 4th Snake Man form, and basically he went demonic mode on Kaido. And he uses a new technique known as Hydra, which basically has fists flying in every which way, and he's basically, giving Kaido that work. And that's basically where we left off. Now, I'm not for sure if Luffy is going between Snake Man and Bound Man. It kind of does look like he is from the paneling, but if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments down below. But basically, he is letting Kaido have it. He's like, me, you feel me? Now, keep in mind, these are also Conqueror's infused punches, so they got a little sauce to them, you feel me? But while Luffy is doing this, Kaido has a thought process, and he actually states this. He's altering the trajectory at whim. Rubber shouldn't be able to do this. Now, I'm not sure whether or not this is a hint to something, but maybe this is an indicator that Luffy's Devil Fruit has a little bit more properties than we first anticipated at the beginning of the story. But I'll get into that a little bit later on in the video. But then we see Kaido actually seem pretty aggravated from all these punches, and he says this: "Knock it off, I told you it hurts." And this leads to yet another drunken mode that Kaido uses in this fight in particular. And he uses his bad bitch face.
It's true that I'm a bad bitch.
Bad bitch. No.
Bitch, I eat my rice and cabbage.
No.
I'm just kidding. But from the scans, it actually says his flirty drunk face. And the thing that makes this so funny is, like, but right before you see the side panel where you see Kaido's face looking absolutely serious. And then the very next bottom panel down, you see this. You see Kaido saying, "Stop it, you." Kaido could really be about that city girl life. I'm just saying. But seriously, on a serious note, I feel like only a handful of mangakas can pull off something like this, where you have something to break the tension with humor like this, and then still kind of proceed into something very serious a little bit later on. So, I don't know, like, big shout out to Oda. Yo, this chapter was beyond a 10. If I could give it a 100 out of 10, I would. But we also see that Luffy gets mad that, you know, Kaido is still drunk. But this is where we get another interesting part. While all of this is happening, Kaido says this: "I hope you don't think you're the only one who can look into the future." Signifying that Kaido has future sight as well as Katakuri and Luffy. This nigga Kaido has a bottomless bag. It's wild. Now, before I move on, I do want to go ahead and address some of these Zoro fans. Now, Zoro, I love his character. He's a beast. But please, 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 Kaido just used future sight in this chapter. He hasn't used it any time else on the roof. Why are Zoro fans saying that he used future sight when Zoro actually got his hidden? Come on. Please stop. Come on. Why are you making a presumable L that Zoro took? Not saying he took an L, but, you know, a presumable L and trying to make a W out of it. Stop it. Stop it. Oh, and also one more thing. ZKK is not happening. Stop it. You need help. Stop. But moving on, Kaido says, "I'll take a page out of your book." And Kaido proceeds to counter Luffy with his future sight as well. And also to mention, he's also entered a new drunken mode called the thieving drunken mode, or something like that. While Kaido and Luffy are scrambling, Kaido actually takes a bite of Luffy, and Luffy is visibly in pain at this point. Now, Kaido with Luffy in his mouth actually takes Luffy all the way sky high above Onigashima. And in a very crazy and wild panel, we see this. Kaido drops Luffy, and while he is falling, Kaido uses a blast breath point blank range at Luffy. And really quick, I just want to go ahead and give another shout out to Oda. He's just making back to back panels of just goatness. Like, come on, man. But this blast is so powerful that it goes down beneath the island of Onigashima. And we also see Yamato's trying to get out of the way from the blast as well. I'm pretty sure a couple niggas had died. I'm just saying. Yet miraculously, Luffy is able to escape by transforming into his bound man and escaping the full damage of the blast. Luffy then flies all the way back up top where Kaido is. And at this moment, Luffy is even worried himself because he says this: "How many minutes have I got left? This is my last Gear 4th. I don't have time to waste." Now, this is interesting because Luffy saying this kind of indicates that Luffy may have a Gear 5th in store. But I believe that Luffy's going to have a Devil Fruit awakening very, very soon after this chapter. It also is a reason why Oda said to pay particularly close attention to Luffy at this climactic battle. And if you include not only the Gorosei basically saying that this fruit hasn't been awakened for centuries and they don't even know its true name, from the Who's Who stuff where Who's Who was actually tasked in order to protect this Gumu Gumu no Mi that we know of. And even the Devil Fruit awakenings of both Kid and Law, all of this kind of culminates to something in the works for Luffy to have a Devil Fruit awakening. Now, what could Luffy's Devil Fruit awakening be? I have absolutely no idea. But for one thing, I do like the bounce house like theory where basically the whole area becomes bouncy. But I do kind of want to see if it's something else, especially with that trajectory comment that Kaido said, where he says rubber shouldn't be moving like this. I really want to see what that means. But if you guys want me to do a prediction video on what Luffy's awakening could be, let me know in the comments. But Luffy is angry now, and he tells Kaido that with him around, the country of Wano and its people will continue to suffer. And Kaido replies, and he says some foul comments, here we go. Kaido says this: "But the people of Wano are used to defeat. They're either weak pacifists or content with death for the sake of honor. They're just losers trying to cover up the stench of their failure. A brave face makes them strong. Winners shouldn't need rationalizations." Nice little title drop, Oda. "Which are you, winner or loser?" Kaido, you are a wild man saying all that, but I digress. But Luffy proceeds to tell Kaido to shut his mouth and that samurai are strong. And we see a new attack from Luffy. Well, not really a new attack, but basically he goes from King Kong Gun to Supreme King Kong Gun. It's like, packs a little bit more punch. Now this knocks Kaido back. And like I said before, Luffy at this point, even after this attack, is still kind of contemplating whether or not he can really last in this form for too much longer. He said his form is about to run out. But Kaido isn't done just yet. And you see something coming out of the dust. And we see Kai saying Roaring Thunder Bagura. And we get another dope ass panel. Oda, you gotta let me breathe a bit before you keep on giving me these panels. And Luffy at this point is badly injured, and his inflation is starting to wither away very slowly, and he's realizing that he doesn't have too much time left, and he only has time for one final attack. And bro, this man Kaido still isn't done yet with the transformations. He has one more drunken mode that we see, and it's called the homicidal drunken mode. Yo, what the fuck? And the funny thing is, if you guys look at the translations for the summary, it actually says killing spree homicidal mode. So there's that. But this is it. Luffy says he has time for one more attack. Kaido is ready as well, and he says bring it on, brat. Luffy loads up another Supreme King Kong Gun, and Kaido readies another Roaring Thunder Bagura. But right as they clash, we see a very familiar face. We see the main CP0 agent come out of nowhere. And he uses a technique called Iron Body. And basically he holds on to Luffy's shoulders, negating Luffy's attack to Kaido. And we see this freaking crazy spread for the finale. So let me go through a couple of things. So first, on the right side, we see the first panel of Kaido actually being shocked that CP0 has entered this battle. But after that, we also see beneath that Kaido actually has a flashback about his battle with Odin. And he sees the same kind of thing happening with that battle and this battle. And I love the parallel of both Odin's eyes and Luffy's eyes in these last couple panels. It basically kind of signifies that this is the same position that he was in years ago. In the middle, we see this incredible panel of basically Kaido smacking the shit out of Luffy and CP0 kind of off to the side. And if we're going to be honest, this has to be a top 3 Wano panel of all time. But to our left, we actually see Kaido, and his face is very shocked. And I really want to kind of see a little bit whether or not this was kind of play into his backstory, or whether this is some kind of trauma that he had with the Odin battle. But he looks incredibly heartbroken and shocked, and I really want to know why. After that, we also see a panel of Luffy, and Luffy is not in good shape, but we know my boy is going to bounce back. And then finally, we see the main CP0 agent, and he kind of has a smirk on his face a little bit. I'm not 100% sure. And he says this was for ZKK. I'm just kidding. But that is the end of the chapter. No break next week. Oda, come on, bro. Hey, big shout out to Oda. You're doing your thing. I really appreciate you, you beautiful genius. But there's so much to really talk about and process, but the one main thing that I can't wait to see, and hopefully we get it in these next upcoming chapters, is I'm pretty sure that Oda has been alluding to Luffy finally awakening his devil fruit. From the awakenings of both Law and Kid, and how they were able to beat Big Mom, to the Gorosei actually saying that this devil fruit hasn't been awakened for centuries. and that they had to do a complete name change of the devil fruit. But not only that, even the stuff with Who's Who and the information that we got that his important mission was to protect the Gomu Gomu Mi at any cost, and he ended up getting fired because of it. And Shanks accidentally having Luffy take a bite of this fruit. How important is the Gomu Gomu no Mi, if it's even called that? Now, all of this makes me think that Luffy's about to have an epic comeback in these next couple chapters. Do not count my goat out. But even the stuff with Kaido and what is his thought process, you can tell that Kaido has some kind of amount of trauma that he went through, and I want to know what kind of led him to this path that he's on right now. Why did he have this face when attacking Luffy? Or surprisingly attacking Luffy? And more importantly, what is he going to do to the CP0 agent? Because I'm pretty sure he's going to murk that man. Guys, let me know what you guys thought about the chapter down in the comments down below. And go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Like I said before, me and my boys Nick, Todd, and Phil come up with weekly podcast episodes on all your favorite anime and manga series. And with that being said, I'll see you guys next week for the next review. Love you guys, and peace.